What is up, risk takers? Welcome to the Kill Pete strategy. I am Pete. I'm a top player in Risk Global Domination. I have a daily show on YouTube. I do weekday streams on Twitch. And if you are interested in getting better at the game of Risk, I invite you to subscribe to the channels and come along the ride with me, ladies and gentlemen. We're playing Classic Fix, baby, and we go dead last. I got a good feeling about this game. We're going to play it straight. We're not going to do anything dumb. We're not going to get baited. Not going to get coerced into suing. Everybody readied. We got a real game. We got a real game of Classic Fix. Look at this. World Domination on Classic Auto 60 with a neutral bot. Fixed cards, balanced with dice, alliances are on. Fog lizard portals are off to Africa. Well, we'll see, right? We go dead last, so we are last to pick. We get the dregs of everywhere others don't want. I think it. All right, so if Magenta goes here, which he might do, and I actually have most of my troops in the Europe sphere. The Australia Turtle, I don't think I'm doing that. Yeah, purple had the good odd spawn that gave it away. Blue smokes it too? No. Blue plays tight. Okay. Magenta moves into Europe. Yeah, Magenta moves into Europe. In an unfriendly way at that. Or yeah, I have a Middle East position, but it's not. I don't know how good it's going to be for me. It looks like a no bono Asia. It does. We can chill. We're here to have a relaxed game. The Quebec domination strat, yes. Oui. Monsieur Dupont. Are you a Cheez-It or a Goldfish guy? Goldfish. I don't even know what Cheez-Its are. I think I've had Cheez-Its once in my life. What's the difference? Tomiscos. Pete, I believe you said you can't get a real game tournaments because targeting. Have you or other well-known risk players ever thought of playing with aliases? Yeah, so that's banned. When I came around, you were allowed. And then we noticed really, really bad downstream consequences from people kind of just abusing that for their own benefit or just for vengeful bullshit, shitty play. So we got, it's a real fairness issue. If everyone is anonymous, then it's fair. But long story short is if I can't make video, right? If people aren't watching it, if I can't stream it, then there isn't a ton left in it for me, considering I've already done everything there is to do in competitive Risk, right? Turn on the music a touch? Yes. It's a bit too loud. You know what's more interesting than Cheez-Its versus... Ooh, that actually... Cheez-Its versus Goldfishes. Do you guys know what the brand name for... What's it called? Cheese Whiz is in French? Formidable. Goldfish is superior to Cheez-Its? Okay, so I made the right call. Guys, don't get me started on tortillas again. That really upset the people. All right. Red gets North America. I'll forgive you for the tortillas. Thank you. I went to Burrito Boys today, Modest Wolf. I bought myself a quesadilla with guacamole, and I thought of you. How many people how many people have watched today's video? So it's USA South on Matt Master Mondays, and obviously I know how to pronounce Arkansas, right? What am I, an idiot? But I said Arkansas, and then whenever anyone questions my pronunciation, I immediately troll them. Because, oh, Pete thinks it's Arkansas. They think it's Arkansas, but it's Arkansas. And I'm just like, how do you pronounce it? You mean it's not Arkansas? Then why would they spell it that way? We're not Arkansas anymore. Okay, we lose blue. Blue put a 10 stack to block Madagascar and now bots. That's fucking great. Sprinkle cast. Oh, dude, I'm the worst. I can't help myself with fucking people. Like, they want to fucking correct my pronunciation when I'm clearly joking. It's like, okay, the autism levels are fucking reaching off the chart. Mostly Love and Music was like, yo, that state should be called East Virginia. And I was like, OG Virginia. Oh, Virginia. Fuck. How the hell am I going to get African now? This is bullshit. Okay, he's back. Man, we got a lot of efficiency out of those stacks in North America. I'll eat a bag of goldfish to see which is better. Let's go. Do you guys think that if I started calling it East Virginia, it would drive somebody crazy? I like how Purple stepped out and then said, well, if nobody's taking it, I'll take it. Someone's trying to card block me. Do I sue? No, you just break the block. If anything, you make them die. Call it South Virginia. All right, Blue's back. He just missed a card. No big deal. No big whoop. Yeah, I'm the no bonus stack. We never see me play like this. I hate this position. Old Jersey. You mean like West York? There's a part of Toronto called North York. Toronto also used to be called York. They're only separate because of slavery. I knew that West Virginia became West Virginia during the Civil War. No, it's not Prague. All right, now we lose Magenti. Or not. East York is now Riverside. Riverdale. Yeah, there's a North York and an East York in Toronto. What a choked up game. No, blue is. Blue's taking Africa now. He just missed a turn, is why he's kind of on the 8 ball. Does red snap? You're in West York, also known as Parkdale. That is quite the part of town. You ever see anyone walking around with a Parkdalian part alien t-shirt? Now, why isn't blue just taking Africa? River Fix games? Yeah, I don't usually play Classic Prague on stream anymore. I feel like I've pretty much gotten to the end of my Classic Prague story. There doesn't seem to be anything else to learn. Did blue break the alliance? No, he disconnected. And he reoffered. I'll accept, I guess. I don't know, actually, I kind of like letting him squirm. How you doing, Chengshi Lamidia? That's a great Twitch name. Is this Classic Fix? Yes, sir. Watching Fix Friday to start my weekend has become a routine. Finally getting the chance to watch you live streams when I'm homesick from work. Exciting to see the roving stack gameplay. I don't want to do it, man. The reason they're rare is I don't like playing that way, right? It's so like anathema to my personality to be like this weak little hider. It's not my style. But I don't want to throw the game, so I'll try and play my best. Is it bad? I highly enjoyed Trigon's Fixed Zombies. No, it sounds like great settings. The scientific review of American cheese snacks is done. First was Cheez-Its. They were good, not very cheesy, but more crackery. Eating them was good, but as I mentioned, they did make the hands greasy. Second, I ate a small bag of goldfish, much more cheesy and less greasy. However, the less grease comes at the cost of salt on the fingers. Overall, I prefer the goldfish. I really need a better username. I noticed it right away. And I said Chenshi Lamidia when I didn't read Lambda, which sounds less like a venereal disease. She's like, I really need a new Twitch name. Okay, so what the fuck do we do here? Red's. I'm getting the vibe that Red's a little pissed at White. Red Stalker says I've been enjoying the meta settings lately. I've been running into highly suspicious situations. It happens. Somewhat obvious multi-accounting. It does. It does make it hard to. Does make it hard to enjoy sometimes. Well, unfortunately, not only do we go last, but we also have a set on 5 cards that is worth a mere 4 troops. Which is just a dilly of a pickle. Hit pink and take Europe? Yeah, well. Okay, Purpy's going to let me go to North America. And white finally takes a bonus. What does red do about that? We need to popularize chopstick snacking to avoid salty, greasy fingers. You know what I do is I just take the bowl and I just go, kind of like try to drink the snacks. Red should sue white. Yeah. Well, it doesn't look like he's suing white. It looks like he's, oh, well. Oh, boy. That's kind of why I positioned myself the way I did. I'll do it again for you. Snack face. This I don't understand for blue. Blue now just has the easy Africa. Why not take it? He's trying to feed the red kill? Bushlack says cheese is the second ingredient in goldfish and the last in Cheez-Its before the less than 2% thing, which is what, all chemicals, right? Fuck! No! I really need to not be on 5 fucking cards. Where we go from here, folks? All right. Do we see a white Sue? So red steals South America, then what? Pete and friends. Or shall I say acquaintances? Hello, Omnium. Hello. Howdy, sir. I've never watched you play Risk live, and it's refreshing to know that anyone could roll into you at any point, just like in my games. Yeah, dude. I play open lobbies. I try to play 6-player open lobbies as much as I can. I pretty much only shoot ranked. Why is blue not taking Africa? Finally will. Yeah, finally will. Sure. It appears to be a real game, but it also appears to be a game where I still am fighting for not lowest. There, that gives me a line from just a straight line from purple. And a 4 trade, now a 6 trade? Jesus Christ. A very like low roll of the generalized luck. Okay. I'm curious to see what happens now. I hate being so weak. All right, so we now have two sort of separated positions that are about equal. As I get larger and larger, I'll look to consolidate them or look to take opportunities when they're presented, but we haven't seen any opportunities to do anything. Got any tips for Airship World Dom? Yes. I assume Prague. Airship Prague World Dom, are you using Fog, using Blizz, or are you using Open Map? Fog Blizz? Prague Fog Blizz, yes. Or no Fog, no Blizz. Fog Blizz probably haven't done it yet. So Airship, think of it, okay, so think of Airship Prague World Dom as like Prague Caps the same way I play it. Pretty much. Don't go hunting for kills until you're sure you know where they are. Ideally, you want a Kukaracha line, particularly if you're at the end of the turn order. So if you're in the beginning of the turn order, you want to keep taking bonuses, take bonus into bonus into bonus. You want to break your adjacent neighbors. If you're at the end of the turn order, you would want to Kukaracha line, and again, break your adjacent neighbors. I don't think those settings sound like the least diplomatic settings possible, right? You need to win your positions. There's almost no reason to ever work with a neighbor because it's almost always going to be straight up linear. It's the longest game you ever had, like 8 hours, 10 hours, something like that. The Invitational Finals, yeah, but I didn't stick it out. Right, I bought it out of that game. Yeah, well, the meta settings stalemate with good players, Emer. So you see how they're like I almost exclusively post meta settings games on my channel, that are like under an hour, but the vast majority of those have no one good in them. And as soon as you have like two people that are good in them, you know, one guy ends up being predatory to the other. As soon as you have 3 or 4 guys that are good in them, those games will just loop forever until someone quits. Yeah, it only ended because Jackson Noob essentially had to collab to end it. So Do I just kill white? I'm not really in it. There's nothing really in it for me, is the thing. Kill white. I play for 5th. Like, what the fuck? How you doing tonight, Marcellus? Going on in the wild world of tourney design. Crescent says the play here is either in 6 turns, you and white leave North America, and give all the Americans to red, or you and white park in Iceland. Oh, so like card blocking red? Marcella says, I want to get a tournament with real qualifier together, like was mentioned in the council the other day. Some top tier shit. Yeah, buddy, you should. Hey, red locks the stack. I mean, look. Kill white. Good does it do me? Blue can do it too. I would love it if blue killed white. Love to see blue kill white. Yeah, I understand. Have we fixed the classic yet? What's that? This? The fixed? The classic fixed? What did Limp Bizkit get right? That everybody's fucked and everything sucks. I really, really want to kill white, but he's the only guy in this game who's my homie. So I choose to not. You want me to hit pink? I don't want to hit pink at all. If I hit pink and I was pink, I would just kill me. I'd give me lowest. You like trying shit like that. I empathize with my opponents as if they were me, which is obviously incorrect. But if someone did that to me, I would just put all my stacks together and kill them immediately. Cassandra says, sorry, Pete, I'm a noob, but I like watching you play. Why is nobody breaking anyone else's control of the continents? Is that inviting retaliation? Yeah, not only that, but we have alliances on. So the way I like to play Classic Fixed is negotiation style, right? So people tend to take positions and, you know, guard them with threat of mutual annihilation, guard them with alliances. And 4 turns the board would look very different. Yeah, I would be dead. I would get lowest instead of 5th. So far, I've seen an opportunity to play for 6th. I've seen an opportunity to play for 5th. Risk is not much of a spectator sport at 1x speed without the philosophical musings. On that empathy point, though, if you'd been white, you'd hit black many turns ago while you're squatting in an A. No, I think if I was white, I would have hit red. And I would have given black, me, the opportunity to kill them both. But I'm well aware that not everyone thinks about this the way I do. That's okay. That's probably for the best, in fact. All right. We got King of Jerusalem watching. That's all we need. He's watching with his eyes. And he's watching her with those eyes. And he's loving her with that body. I just know it. This is exactly why I play from advantage, too. I hate playing from disadvantage. I can't really, throw my weight around or anything. Time for my last risk game as a 20-year-old. Dude, was there even any debate that you would go to the store to get some booze? Come on. Happy birthday. I started thinking of classic fixed as applied behavioral economics. What do you mean by that? That sounds like a beautiful mind reference. I don't know. I don't know what to do with those words. Becky sure will find out. Yeah. You see the difference though when I'm not in a leading role? I can't really progress. I can't really do anything to progress the game state. Stir some shit out. Yeah. Oh, dude, if I was ever gonna knock white, I would have fucking killed them. Have you heard any of Linkin Park's new music? A little bit. Sure, I'm glad though that the guy who is in the lead isn't playing. That makes me feel good. Hey, yo, Nicolay. Usually watching your vids on YouTube. Glad to catch you streaming. What's up, buddy? Welcome to the stream. Isn't that lovely to see? It's about Europe, yeah. What do you suggest? Yep. He sure did. Neutral bot. So now Europe just doesn't. Europe is just deleted from this map. Well, that's a nice big purple stack. Oh, yeah. We made 10 minutes to take fourth by killing white? Nah. That's not my style, Teutonic Knight. Someone's going to kill me. That's fine. I haven't been nice to everybody on this board. The map does become linear with Europe God. And I remain weak. Fuck. How you doing, Doobie? Yes, it is. Yes, it is, sir. How you doing tonight? Kaduka says, I just played a game where a white player captain Morocco and I got 5 out of the 6 kills. 7 rounds. Oof. You tend to come second from this position. Oh yeah? If you're not suicided? Just by chilling? Berla says, ladies, John with chocolate starfish. How you doing, man? Why don't you ally up with the rest of the players? Because I got nothing to say to them. I got nothing to offer them. So the way I use the alliance isn't like, here, I'm going to tell you to do something that isn't in your advantage, but is in mine. That's how some players play. And I always find those alliances to be very resentful. I feel like my allies in this game know the deal, and they can kill me if they want to, and they choose not to. So the more I make myself visible to them consciously, the more they think maybe I need to kill that guy. Right now, I have no interest in having them think about me at all, right? How you doing, Dave's Dungeon? See some YouTube vids, but never live stream. How are you, man? Welcome. Gamble. Should we do some gambling? Wydock wants to gamble. Should we do some gambling? Do I need to set something up? Yeah, if the bots are automated, yeah, but then someone could disconnect for value. And that hurts my soul. Was the red and white relationship quite bad? White had 2 equivalent stacks and red was here. Then white took South America and then red stole it. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Guess what, motherfuckers? I just got a cupcake. Oh, thanks, babe. That's fucking awesome. Oh my god. How could that not? I can't even play my turn. I'm so excited. This is the territory I want to open. I want blue and purple stack to be facing each other so bad. Put a candle on it for me, yes. Modest wolf. Don't know that I have any candles handy. I'm going to eat my cupcake. Oh man, I remember how they come in. This is so good. Doobie says remove white's what? So he's got nowhere to go but into red? All right, we're going to go off camera for this. What was Limp Bizkit right about? They're right about everybody sucks and everything's fucked. I'm just kidding. Cupcake. Oh, wow. All right, everyone's content to trade. We're going to chill forever. Forever, ever? I was listening to Break Stuff today. Well, on the city bus. Thank God I don't sing aloud. Ah. Mmm. Now that's a good cupcake. Yes, chocolate. Delicious. Okay. So let's think this through. We got ourselves a game of Risk. Global domination. Oh, looks like we're losing red, too. We're just going to win this game by default. Never mind. Kevin Foster had to pee. Yeah, I tried block red, but then red sues me. Do you have enough for the whole class? Don't make me pass you a note. I'll tell you what I really think about you. And we lose magenta. I think the only thing I got going for me here is the relationships are poor. Red moves up to Sue, but you can probably get away. He's playing not to lose. I feel like you're interested in taking risks in this situation that I am completely uninterested in taking. I don't tend to take suicidally risky plays when I'm in a losing position. I tend to do it when I'm in a winning position. Just set away till they kill each other. No, I'm. One of the great things about Classic Fixed, I would say, is that there's a bit of an equalizer as far as ability. We all know how people work. So once you understand the mechanics of the game, which I understand is quite a skill gap, but once you've mastered the mechanics of the game, is a different thing. But once you understand the mechanics of the game, we can all talk about what we think everyone else is thinking, because we're all people, so we can all empathize with what blue wants, what purple wants, what red wants, what white wants, and I think that conversation is valuable, but also very, very interesting to me. This song is too hyped for the game situation. Hey, I'm not turning it off. We're listening to Metallica, and that is it. All right, do I keep my Joker? It's possible to live on the pink 5. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind where I'm at, though. I like where I'm sitting. I want white trapped there. Hey, Pete, you are streaming today. Yes, sir. Don't make me turn off my Metallica, Bertalisk. Classic Fixed World Domination is the ultimate mental game. Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, we can talk about what we think everyone else is thinking, and that's sort of infinitely deep, right? White, just let it happen. They're fine with it. Mosswell says, decided to do cast game anyways, and after immediately losing world domination, I'll take a 2-cap open. I do love those. I don't mind taking risks from a weak position when my read is the other players are playing to not lose. Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that. It seems like both red and white are... Everyone, in fact, you're right about that. Everyone seems ridiculously passive. I'm getting a fucking 10 trade to save my life here. Kind of nice, you know? It's one of the rarest, most boring games of Classic Fix we've seen in a long time. How you doing, Jason? Greetings from Hong Kong? I have not, but I absolutely loved Singapore. And I loved China. So I assume that Hong Kong will be somewhere in the middle of those two. Is that a fair assessment? Hong Kong is sort of like halfway. It's probably more China than Singapore, obviously, but it's like halfway between Singapore and China, something like that. Tell me I'm wrong. I would love to visit Hong Kong. So I grew up with a lot of Hong Kong, the children of Hong Kong expats. The neighborhood I grew up in was about a third Cantonese speakers. So, yeah, never been. Now that part of Toronto's become more mainland Chinese, obviously after the end of the 90s when Hong Kong was given back to China. But there was a large sort of migration of relatively wealthy Hong Kong families that moved to Thornhill, the suburb north of Toronto where I grew up. That was my very long-winded answer to a very short question. Yeah, that's fair. We hate being compared to China, but for obvious reasons. Yeah, no shit. But also, to be perfectly fair to China, like when I visited China, what would it have been, 2008? I really was taken aback by how little it reminded me of sort of the propaganda we hear here. But then again, you know, I'm like a rich white guy, so they want my money. How you doing, Taku Malno? They do know how to cover shit up, right? It'll need all the countries of Europe by memory. Let's do it. Wouldn't exactly be memory because I have access to a map of Europe. So whether or not we consider Greenland a part of Denmark or a country in its own, whether or not we consider Greenland a part of North America, which is geographically, but technically a part of Europe politically. Then what do you have? You have the Faroe Islands. Oh. You have Iceland. You have the United Kingdom. He's card blocking? Oh, God. You have the United Kingdom of and Northern Ireland. You have the Isle of Man. You have Ireland. You have the Channel Islands. You have France, Andorra, Spain, Portugal, Belgium, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Germany, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Russia, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. Little piece of Russia there too. Poland, Belarus, Ukraine. What's Germany? Did I say Germany yet? Germany, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Austria, Hungary. Switzerland, Italy, San Marino, Vatican City, Liechtenstein. We said Austria already. Then you have Slovenia, Croatia, Serbia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Kosovo, Albania, Greece, North Macedonia, Bulgaria, Romania, Moldova, and a tiny piece of Turkey. I think I got them. Did I get them all? Did I get them all? I probably missed one or something. Right? I tried to do that from my memory. Did I miss Montenegro? You doing Blue Eagle? Didn't expect Pete to do it. I believe you missed Montenegro. Damn it! I missed Montenegro! No, I got Liechtenstein. Fuck off. I definitely got Liechtenstein. Blue Eagle, hello. Just want to give you Europe. How are you, man? Should we take it on the fourth where the guy took pity on me? I love it when that happens, eh? Little did he know. Hope you didn't have to betray him too bad. Let's just get ourselves off cards right now. This feels like a hairy moment. How you doing, Kizzy? What's up? What's up? Yeah, I'm not sure what J Pitts. I'm not sure what I expected either, man. That was a crazy play. Oh, I missed Monaco. I missed Monaco. That's right. Too bad. And Malta. Yeah, missed Malta. Yeah, Malta's a country. But if Malta's a country, then Gibraltar is a country, which I also missed. Yeah, I got Andorra. Can you name every country in North America? Yeah. We have the nation of your mom. You forgot you were talking to a child. I reminded you. Probably was like, no, not my mom. I did a can you name every country in the world game. And we got like on stream together and we got everything except for Lebanon was the country we missed. Malta is actually a UN country. Gibraltar isn't. Yeah, well, when asked, I don't know that we gave the particular definition of country in this regard. All right, so white wants to connect themselves. And then what happens? Good to see you back live. The stream bots put me to sleep at night. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. I'm very fortunate that you would choose to spend your time with me that way. Yes, Cyprus, yes. What would it look like if both Eastern Europe and Western Europe ended up at war in South Africa? No, Kreskin, that would look terrible. Oh my God, that would look Like they would probably like squiggle their way down, you know, and then they would force themselves to make a landing or somewhere around there. It would be a whole thing. I saw where he was going with that one. Yeah, Squidward. That was Squidward. How you doing, Kala? Yo, Pete. Longtime YouTube watcher, seldom on Twitch. I got into this conversation with a coworker. Was semi-political, and he brought up ethics. So I know you do a lot of ethical type questions. You goddamn right I do. I know you do a lot of ethical type of questions. What type of donation or how's the process work for me to? Oh no, just ask away. You don't owe me a dime. Feel totally free. I'm grateful for any donation given, but nothing is required. We got lots of time, and I love to talk. So what do you got for me, sir? Pete, where in North America is the country of my mom? You don't want to ask me that. In my fucking bedroom. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh. All right, I take it back. Just here for the jokes, okay? I would never say that about Private Ryan's mom. You know, in some cultures, the your mom jokes are looked upon very poorly. Like, they're super offensive. You got to be careful. I know you all who've stuck with me understand how my humor is that of a 10-year-old. And the jokes are less risky and more dumb. Dumb and well-meaning is what I'm going for. Man, I'm surprised that the red and white thing didn't really heat up. You don't think I have the jokes of a 10-year-old? Over or under, Bread Stalker? Yeah, thanks, bro. We learn together is what we do. Thank you for the bits. They really had to like meander there through the Sahara. The path of man, we have not gotten one of these in a long time. I'm not even complaining because like it beats having, random Sues and shit, but I almost forgot how fucking boring a ton of like straight up classic fix games could be. The desert is treacherous. You gotta really watch your back. Yeah, Europe's a big blizzard. Exactly. The issue is, so Magenta was the strongest player. So the reason I play with neutral bot here is that bot would have fucked up everybody's shit. He bought it out as the strongest player. So now at least he's gotten lowest instead of what almost certainly would have happened, but would have been him botting out and getting second or maybe first. Unacceptable to me. Absolutely unacceptable to me. And until that loophole is closed, I can't really play Classic Fix with neutral bot. It's just, it offends every fiber of my being as far as fairness goes. That a guy could take a Europe position, disconnect, not play, and win the game. It's not boring when you're drawing diagrams. Well, good. That's what we're going for. What do you think some of these other players could do to advance the game state? Is their best play to sit tight? At this point, not without taking crazy risks. Autobots and Classic Fix has to be brutal, never profitable. Yeah, you can't ever kill it. It sticks around forever, JPiz. The bot often wins. Like, it usually gets second, and it often wins. It's atrocious. But then half of these fucking games end up with fucking blizzards, right? Which I also wouldn't choose. There's gotta be a better way. JP is the greatest Risk player in history. You got a fucking, you got a guy rooting for you, JPiz. He's a very good Risk player. We are super excited to see JPiz get to the top of that fucking leaderboard. I want to see it. I believe. Okay, for Colin says, all right, so I can't recall the incident he was quoting to spark this conversation, but he in short said how it's unethical to deport those with green cards for, let's say, a traffic infringement. Whereas I took the stance that these people were told before granted access to uphold the law. If they break the law, then they must know they can be held accountable for those actions. So I guess the ethical part he was referring to, not getting kicked out over something minor, is unethical. Sure, okay. White Ox, a professional hype man. Let's go. So you just give me a little bit more context, right? I'm Canadian, so I don't understand what maybe a green card means in this regard. I'm guessing a green card is like landed immigrant status. You're not a full citizen yet, but you can work. It's like a working visa or a temporary citizenship. Okay. So your coworker is taking a position, permanent resident. Thank you. Taking a position that it is unethical for the government to deport permanent residents, but non-permanent resident non-citizens over something minor. Okay. I would respond to that with there is a massive, massive difference between what is legal and what is ethical. That's basically, I mean, an oversimplification, but I have very low trust in the law being justice. Right? And I think we can look at how we view concepts of justice. Hey, Red's card block. Does he do anything? He's just going to get cards on. No, I don't know, actually. This is a good play by White. Good job. All the land masses seem to be dripping towards the South Pole. Of course they do. Yeah, so that's how I'll answer your question. But if you have a follow up or you want something more specific, go right ahead. I think when we talk about the law being ethical, I think we've already partially shoved our head up our ass, right? The law is obviously unethical. The law exists to maintain social order, and that social order which keeps the rich and powerful rich and powerful. That's what the law does, right? And that's not to say that the law doesn't also provide some amount of justice. For example, violent crime. I don't want to live in a world where I'm under threat of attack, right? But to kind of invoke any sort of ethical argument to say that, you know, this is what the government of the United States is doing regarding its citizens is morally bad. I mean, it's so morally great. What the government of the United States is doing with regards to its citizens is so morally great on so many levels, right? Like, just talk about the military, just talk about war specifically, right? Why is it ethical that your government will take the lives of citizens of other countries? You know what I mean? Like, that's just one very small but very obvious example. You could go into the ethics of this forever because it's complex, and quite frankly, I don't think any government is all that. I mean, any government that exists today is all that ethical, right? I still just might get lowest here. Deport people who quit risk games. Lol. I have a strong feeling you will end up with a higher placement than red and white. I hope so, J Piz. I deserve it. Hey, Trendy. I asked Cress already. How was Cirque du Soleil? It was so cool. All right. I'm glad you enjoyed. This is possibly my favorite Metallica jam. What is this? The thing that should not be? I love that they, so for those of you who don't know, we're listening to a Metallica album called Live S&M, which they recorded with, I think, the San Francisco Symphony Orchestra. I loved this idea, and I was so excited to hear it, and it was, I've only seen these guys once, but obviously not with an orchestra. What's Blue upset about? That Red's going to hit him? Oh. Everyone's chilling, man. This is a chill game of Risk. Okay, that makes sense. So how does society maybe balance justice and ethics? Is there a world where that's possible? Well, I think I actually was having this conversation today in my philosophy forums. I think the starting position that justice is possible, or a just world, a perfectly ethical world is possible, is just not the case, right? We don't live in a world of fairness, but the actual question you're asking is how can we make the world the most fair it can be, and that I think is very, very worth asking. How can we make the world the most just, the most fair? And I think the very first step, I talk about this a lot, so I don't want to talk streams ear off about it, because I'm sure many of them have heard this before, but if you care about anything politically, any single political issue, be it climate change, be it income inequality, be it human rights, the economy, each and every one of those issues, if you care about any of them, the very first thing you need to care about before is electoral reform. Because if we do not address the structure by which we are governed, then we will never fix any of those things. Yeah, we don't talk about that here, Zohair. That's a no. We're not going to be doing that here. And that word doesn't apply. There's very few things that I will shut down conversations on, but we do not talk about that one. That one goes nowhere. It just goes straight to hell. It is very sad, and it makes me upset. But there's nothing I can do about it. There's certainly nothing people chatting in a video game Twitch stream are going to do to fix that. It's all tragic. Doobie says, as long as money, sex, and power exist, there will be someone who wants more of them than their neighbors. Yeah, and I think we can mitigate that somewhat, right? I think we can give... So the way you fix it is you look at something like what Rawls was talking about, right? John Rawls Veil of ignorance thought experiment. If you look at the decent minimum, what is the floor underneath which no one in our society should fall? How can we ever reform our governments when the rich and power control everything? Exactly. I would say the first step would be having a conversation where you and I and the other person can agree that if we are going to preserve democracy, then we would want direct democracy or the option for representatives that actually represent us, and then we would have a conversation about how we would build that. And I think one of the ways you would build it is by using the communications technology that we all have. We don't need to pay a person a salary to represent in proxy for us. One thing I wish you were American for would be a mutual disdain for everything that happened in 1913. What happened in 1913? World War I? American History 1913. Woodrow Wilson. Oh, the Federal Reserve Act? Yeah, I got a lot to say about that. I got a lot to say about that one. So I've been thinking about doing a course on Jekyll Island. Okay. I've been thinking about doing a course on Peter Joseph and the Zeitgeist movement, and I think that will be enlightening for everyone. I'm not sure why White's kind of protecting me here. Red's going to give away all of his advantage by hitting big magenta stacks, right? Gray Hat and Dart. Hey, Pete, just finished your South States videos. Was surprised Purple wasn't ranked higher given their quality of play. Hey, Gray Hat, how do you pronounce Arkansas? I feel like I took flack in the comments when I was like, if it's spelt Arkansas, then why isn't it Arkansas? You know what I'm saying? Am I the crazy? And also, it's definitely Arkansas. Yeah, exactly. So the other thing too is, I think we've all decided mutually before you came into the stream, but I would hope you agree. We're going to officially be calling East Virginia now because it's just easier. You shut your whore mouth, Pete. Lol. So they have, you see, they have West Virginia, so they might as well have East Virginia, right? It just makes too much sense. Is Arkansas is my preferred pronunciation. See, I knew I had to get 1 out of 2. Modest Wolf didn't like Tortilla, but he's fine with Arkansas. Kizzy Nelson, hey Pete, question for you. I recognize a guy from the top of the leaderboard in my lobby. I emoted and he recognized me too. I realized we went first and second. We ended up in the same lobby 4 times. Not all on the same day. Each time we were ultra friendly to each other and worked together first and second. At what point is it considered collab? It's considered collab the second you recognized him and communicated effectively. So the way the letter of the law is written, actually no, because it's not outside means though. It's not outside means, so maybe I'm wrong. So the letter of the law is if you have an outside means of communication with a player in a game, which you actually didn't do. You have an inside means of communication. Yeah, I mean, I guess you're fine as long as if you're playing with the same guy back to back to back, you will get flagged by their auto detection. I still think it's sleazy. But I don't think it's cheating according to the letter of the law. I think it's sleazy even the first time. That's, you do it the first time, okay, cool, whatever. No big deal. You found a guy, you work together, congratulations, right? Doing it a bunch of times. This is ethics versus login. Exactly. This is ethics versus login. Call back. But I don't think, I don't think it's a terrible offense by any means. I don't think you should feel bad. But I would just say be careful, right? Because I wouldn't want to be cheating, and Their rule is if there's an outside means of communication, then that's collab. But it doesn't sound like you had one, so I think you're good. Thank you, Static Mage. Hello, sir. Static Mage is only 20 months a week. Thank you very much, brother. How are you doing tonight? Kind Picture says, have you ever heard of Prabhat Ranjan Sarkar? He has works on... No, I don't know him. Would be interested to learn. Bushlock says, I watched a clip of you talking about free trade. Last semester, I wrote a paper on free trade in North America, where my thesis was that free trade has diminished the dignity of the Mexican people by poor working conditions and, oh shit, rise of organized crime. I got so bored from this game, I almost stopped playing it. Fuck. Okay, well, we lost Blue. This also applies to Southeast Asia and Africa, but it was for a North American class. Wonder if you have an opinion on this. My opinion on free trade is, I had assumed that it was inevitable that the world would be moving towards a more global system, with less distinction between different sovereign nations. And I actually still see that trend as inevitable. I think we end up as Earth. And I think we kind of have to end up as Earth, because the longer we end up as nation versus nation versus nation, the more weapons are built and the more people are murdered in war. Okay? So long term, a free trading world, a world that managed all of its, I think it is inevitable as well. Oh, you're asking, is it inevitable? I personally think it's inevitable, because I think the alternative is legitimately that we just kill ourselves accidentally, right? So it's either we continue to build guns and murder ourselves. Oh, you says you think it is? I would agree with that, Doobie. So and my hope is that it is done peacefully, right? That it's not done by some empire of conquest, or that it's not done through some massive sort of draconian authoritarian regime, right? My hope would be that this inevitability would occur with the maximum amount of peace and freedom possible for its citizens, right? But the world that we have is not that world. So you really got to be practical too and say, like, how do we get from here to there? And by there, I mean, how do we get to the there that we would aspire to have? Anti-free trade is in its death throes. Oh, I don't know about that. I think we might just be in the cusp of a new trading order, where the United States has slightly changes their role. Have you heard of Curtis Yarvin? Yes. He believes that we should get rid of democracy and run the world with a techno-feudal society run by tech overlords. Yeah, well, that's the real danger here, is who gets to be the one who decides. Okay, Red is giving away a ton of troops. So Red is garbage, right? We've learned that Red totally sucks. And that's nice to know. Me and White are actually getting away a bit by trading with each other nicely. Surprised we made it to the 4-player. Look, I think there are merits to different forms of government. I think it's important to recognize that we have an ethnocentric and an anthropocentric position. What does that mean? The ethnocentric position means you are naturally going to assume that your culture is superior to all other cultures. That includes all other cultures in the world and all other cultures in history. You're naturally going to assume that because you cannot do an analysis of your own culture externally. Okay? You have an anthropocentric position. What does that mean? Anthropocentrism is the idea that human beings are the center. And that makes sense because you are the center of your life. Okay? Both of those things you have to understand are your inherent biases, Oh, he takes North America. Oh, he takes North America. Wow. Okay. May I have bonus though? Why not bonus for me? Oh, interesting. Okay. Now I get it. Man, he stacks on fucking white. I was in the middle of saying something. Completely lost. Where? Oh yeah. So that was a preamble to say, throughout most of human history, the form of government we had, for the vast majority of human history, the form of government that most people lived under was, who in chat knows? What is far and away the most common system of government historically? It's not close. Xenomorph knows. Monarchy, right. Okay? So it is important to recognize not that monarchy is the natural state of affairs for humanity or the true or the right state of affairs, but it just happens to be the one that lasted the longest. Yeah, feudalism, right. So I can't believe Red would do that. Red is just begging White to sue him. Yeah, White's gonna sue him. You gotta, White. You can't put up with that shit. I will give him lowest. Attack Red. How do I do it though? Because I kind of want to, but how? Red's such an asshole. Then Purple just wins the game. I think there's a little bit of actual change, right? White finally tried for a bonus. Red's now on +5 instead of +2. So things have changed. You should have hit both. Should hit both there, I think. Oh, what is going on? What is going on? The Risky Phil with the raid. Get out of here. Hello, Philip. And the Risky Phil Raiders. How are you, sir? Yeah, man. How are you? Look at me on later than Phil. I love you too. It's so nice to see Phil streaming Risk again. I know I'm not the only one who thinks it. I know how much Phil was missed. I had people ask me from time to time, like, "Hey, do you know if he's okay?" That was kind of the big one for me. It's like, I don't want to tell on you, Phil. I don't want to tell your personal business. Certainly none of my business, but I wanted to reassure people who you might not realize you have such an impact on people, right? They spend a lot of time with you. They care about you. So I was like, no, I know for a fact he's okay. He's doing his thing. He's got family stuff. He's got work stuff. It's all good. No need to worry. That's what I said. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Purple just made their stack active. Why? What's going on? Whoa, okay. Oh, goodness gracious me, folks. Are we finally going to see some action? I want to see the spice. The spice must flow. Purple's so strong it's insane. Yeah, just by turtling Australia too. How sad is that? Literally all he's done is turtle Australia. Oh fuck! Oh shit! He's gonna kill me, right? He is. He's gonna sue me. I get lowest. Oh wait, no. He's killing white. Okay, so white gets lowest, which is 4th. Red gives the kill to me. Yeah. No, he doesn't do the Hua yet. I'm gonna hit before he asks me to do anything. Attack purple. Purple's gonna kill you, man. Oh, no. Purple, you're the worst person. The do nothing Australia. Yeah, that's better. In your Gokenshin, why did purple do that? So purple has literally done nothing but sit in Australia all game. White was gonna be card blocked. Yeah, I think white's still card blocked. But it's like it's what's it called? It's fixed. So card blocking isn't really the all red. All red is just red does not know how to not piss anyone off. He pisses so many people. Yeah, Cress, Phil is one of the classic fix OGs. You guys would get along. You think Purple's a master? All he knows how to do is fucking nothing. I gotta be open to do whatever I want. This is wild. The fact that people aren't just absolutely... Okay, wait. What's happening? He's gonna take the magenta kill? This is dumb. Don't do this. Oh, no. Okay. We're gonna see some more now, eh? Okay. The Peatman is approaching parity. Oh my goodness. This is good for business. It's free real estate. Who does red go for? Bulsu? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was worth doing. Sorry, White. I had to do this so I would win the game. Apologies, sir. Fuck yeah. We waited an hour and a half for that. We waited an hour and a half for that play. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen. Oh. Is it going up on YouTube? I don't know. I don't know. You guys might see it in the future, but let me just tell you. Okay, predictions on the ranks. Predictions on the Lego. How you doing, Covert? Thank you for the prime. Thank you. Predictions on the ranks. So, who was in this game? Magenta took Europe and quit. Blue took Africa and quit. So, like, they're probably not terrible, but also they could be beginners. Red is also a beginner. It's gotta be, right? Red is a beginner. White's maybe better. I think White's the best player in this lobby. Yeah. White's an expert and everyone else is worse. Yeah, I think purple is not. Purple's probably an expert too, though, just because they're patient and they're an Australia turtle. Yeah, white's a master. White's a master, man. Sorry, Louie. I hope you don't see this on YouTube because you're going to be a little pissed at me, but I needed to take a favorable roll on your stack so I could also kill purple in the same turn. It ended you in third, which sucks. Not what I actually would have chosen for you, but it was the way to kind of like not ensure a win, but min-max my chances to win at that point. Defeating a novice in magenta. We got the full set, folks. A novice, a beginner in red, an intermediate in purple, an expert in blue, and a master in white. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And until next time, we're all on the path to world domination. Good games and good luck.